If you're an avid Minecraft builder or somebody who just wants to try building for a bit, there's a chance you've heard of and want to use some of these blocks. Honeycomb blocks, and copper especially, I have seen recently used to great effect in buildings, and honey blocks are very useful for redstone and jumping off things, and honey bottles and honeycombs are, in their own right, perfectly good items. Actually, not honeycombs, they're completely useless, but honey bottles are great food. So I will be showing you in this episode how to automatically farm honey in this thing here. You don't need this whole build, by the way. That's just something I made for fun. There are two types of redstone honey farms. The honeycomb farms and the redstone bottle farms. Both of these are only activated when a bee comes out of the hive, which I find to be a little odd, but at the same time, the honey level only ticks up when they come out of the hive as well, so I don't know what's going on there. But, in effect, this one is just an observer. This is a dispenser here, facing downwards, and then you've got a beehive, so that the beehive, when it hits 5, will get sheared, because this dispenser is supposed to be full of shears. This should work indefinitely, and the redstone behind it is just 3 rows of redstone. I've covered this with honey blocks, because honey blocks only have a 7/8 hitbox, so redstone can run through them. Very useful to know. That's why they're honey blocks, and there's none on the other side. But 3 rows of redstone, 1 on top of the dispensers, 1 on top of the observers, and 1 behind the observers. And then, every time a bee exits it, it'll trigger all of these, but that doesn't waste efficiency or effectiveness because it does not ruin durability of the shears, nor does it ruin the honey already in the hive if it's not at the maximum level. Every beehive or bee's nest has 5 different honey levels it can be on. Actually 6 if you include none. So there's none, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And only at 5 can you harvest the honey, and it will make a visual difference, but you can check what level it's at by checking the right side of the screen in the middle area when pointing at a block, and you'll see here the honey level is 0. Here it's 5. 0, 0, 0. There's not actually any bees in any of those. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 5. And then for this one, all you've got to do is just fill all the dispensers with shears and let it run, as long as you have something to pick the items up here. Could be a water stream, could be hoppers, could be a hopper minecart underneath rolling back and forth. The choice is yours and yours alone, and there's a wandering trader. Okay, with that problem sorted out, we move on to the honey bottle farm, which is a bit more complicated. Actually, it's significantly more complicated. So, as I mentioned in my comparatives video, which I don't recommend you watch because I forgot to edit half of it, and still posted it anyways, and have not fixed it, I said that these could be read with comparators, which they can, up to 5, 1 per honey level. So, once you get to 5, it'll hit here, and then trigger the dispensers, which will be full of glass bottles. If they're not full of glass bottles, you'll end up with it filling up the honey blocks, and your farm will break. So, don't do that. So long as your farm is full of honey bottles, it'll only ever trigger the one thing it's attached to. Because of how redstone works, it'll only ever be able to power this to 5, this to 4, this to 3, etc. Which is very, very good in the grand scheme of things. This block here has to be glass or slab so that the redstone can run up and then up again. Just a good thing to keep in mind, because if you didn't have glass there, it would not work. Then, once you filled all these with bottles, which I somehow got one, so evidently one of these is still working, it'll spit these out in front as well here, and you need a collection system, which can be hoppers, hopper minecarts, or a water stream. The reason the farm will break if you have only 1 glass bottle in here, like this would break the farm, or if you have empty slots, is because it'll fill the glass bottles up with just honey, like that. So if I had 3 bottles in here initially, it would get that, and then occasionally it would spit a honey bottle out instead of collecting the things, and then that would be the end of your farm working at all. So you don't want that, obviously. So just make sure that these are always filled with glass bottles. You can obviously use a hopper on top of that. I would do that if I had this in a survival world, but this is in my redstone guide / redstone testing world. It's kind of the only world I really play on right now, because I don't particularly want this, or no, I don't have the time to start a survival world right now. I want to, but I don't. Yeah, no, that's not happened. So you may be like, okay, now I've built this wonderful farm. How do I get the bees? And that is a very, very good and valid question. Set the time today, because bees do not come out at night. Fun fact. And there are a few ways to get them. This is one of the examples, but we will ignore it for now. The first way is to find a naturally generated bee's nest, punch one of the bees while you're on easy, hard, or normal mode, and it will try to chase you and kill you, and then just run away from it. Obviously, I'm not on any of those modes. I'm on peaceful because I don't like slimes. So, I can use the second option, which is flower pulling baiting them. It's like pulling sheeps along with hay, or llamas with hay bales. It'll follow you so long as you are holding a flower. You can also use these flowers to breed them once you've got more than one. The third way with naturally generated bees nests is to take a silk touch pickaxe, axe, anything really. I don't think a silk touch book works. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work, but you could try. Anything with silk touch on it and break the bee nest. It'll keep all of its honey levels and all of its bees, which makes it particularly challenging to stack these in your inventory, because while they are technically stackable, there's like 15 different versions of them per block, so just consider these non-stackable items when it comes to item sorting and stuff, because they're fundamentally not really stackable. The next way is to get one yourself. If you bone meal a tree, or one naturally grows, within 2 blocks of a flower, this includes diagonally, so I believe that flower would work, according to the wiki at least, it has a chance, a 5% chance, 1 in 20 that is, of spawning with the bee's nest with 1 to 3 bees. So it took me, I think, 14 attempts to get a naturally generated one. I got one here. So yeah, that's one of the ways to get them. The final way is the good old find them off camera, as YouTubers would say, where you go and you go / give yourself. I'm not actually using my own skin right now. That's a little embarrassing. I'm not on my own account at all. But you go / give your name, and then you type in bee spawn egg. I overshot. Bee spawn egg. Bam. You have bees. Look at that. The other command, of course, is / summon, and then just bee tab. Bam. You've got a bee. And that is how you find the bees. Now guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I'm not going to show you my face because I'm not on my account, which means that I'm not using my skin, and I am too lazy to change my account right now. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good day. And tell me below in the comments, what do you think of this building? Is it good? Is it absolute garbage? Do you think my building is amazing? Or is it kind of just meh? I put this together in like 5 minutes, so obviously it's not the best I could do. But I want to know your thoughts. Bye!